Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Documentary Club. This is Documentary Club Live, and welcome, Katie and Jack. How are you guys doing? Hey, Katie, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Well, thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Um, Hope to have a little interesting discussion about long shot. Um, and Jack, how are you doing
Hello,
today?
hello. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, Long Shot's a really interesting documentary, and for many reasons.
One of those reasons are. What are one of those
Well,
reasons, Jack?
well,
Just give
you
me
know,
one.
just think about all of the crazy things that had to come together for this all to work out the way it did. I mean, there's just so many things. I mean, yeah, there's a couple of really key things, but there are other little side things. Him being at that game, uh, and him telling these detectives, "Hey, man, I didn't do this. I was at the game." I know his lawyer, another key part. This, he was great. He was really good. And then, of course, the cell tower info was basically undeniable that he couldn't have been there because of the phone call he made where he was at and being able to make it all the way over. Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that were going on in this one. It was pretty complicated, and for that, I would give the documentary an A grade on that because there's a lot of intricacies going on, and they clearly lay it out. Like I understood what the story was. I wasn't confused by it, so I think they did a
Right.
good job there.
They
Uh,
did.
Before we move on, though, I would like to welcome in Susan. Susan, hello.
Hi, Jeff. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. How you doing this evening?
Oh, good. I'm doing good. Thanks.
Well, thanks for joining us.
You bet. Yeah,
Did you
this was
did,
oh,
go ahead?
go ahead. I was just gonna say this was kind of although very serious, it was a fun documentary. Just I love Larry David and just the unbelievable um, situation that got him out of that horrible situation. It's just mind blowing.
Yeah, you would never think that somebody making a TV show could get someone off of a murder charge, you know?
Yeah,
It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild, that's for sure.
yeah, that
So,
producer said when he got the
what were
call.
the yeah, I mean that's an interesting call to get. Like, and then I thought that was strange that HBO's like, no, we won't let you see the footage until after we air the episode. And you're like, yeah, but this guy's life is on the line. Come on, HBO. Come
Yeah,
on, we gotta
while
wait
you're
till the
hanging out,
episode.
he's in Supermax.
Yeah, come on, HBO, get it together. What's the
How
lawyer gonna
long
do?
did
What's the
how
lawyer
long did
gonna
he
do? Like
spend in jail?
leak
Sorry,
the
I'm
tape
sorry.
or something?
Right. Give away
Anyway,
your secrets.
What
so go ahead. If you had a question, go ahead.
what did you say, Susan? How long what?
How long did he spend in jail? This guy. I
I'm not
I didn't get it. I forgot to rewatch
I
it, so it's
I
been a
don't
while
know
since I've seen
if
it.
they said exactly, but it felt like the length of before it went to trial. So I
so
would
he was
few
arrested
months.
in August of 2003 and I noticed that the civil case start was filed in July or August of 2005. So,
So okay,
A
so
couple
he
years
couldn't have been
later.
in. Yeah, so I'm assuming he was in there less than 6 months. That's my guess. I guess we could look it up if we really want to. But still, what did he get? Like 300,000? I think at the end it said
320.
it's not bad. I mean,
No.
like I said in the premiere, I think I said in the discussion that if you asked him, okay, could you do this all over again, but you don't get the 300,000? He'd be like, yeah, keep your money. I'd rather not have to go through that. You know, that's just
Yeah.
worst possible things. I would not want to be locked up, man. Not in this country. It's a scary place to be locked up. But
You know what was chilling when he said, "You don't know fear until you hear a grown man screaming for help."
wow,
It's like,
I do remember
oh,
that part. That was intense. Well, what else do you guys think? What any other opinions on this documentary? Have you seen that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm before?
oh yeah, couple times.
I think it's one of
Yeah,
my favorite
pretty
ones.
sure
It's
I've
a
seen
wild
it.
episode. He gets his dad marijuana for his glaucoma, and then he does it with him, and then he picks up the prostitute to go into the
Dodgers.
what is it? Yeah, but it was the
Stadium.
freeway lane, the carpool lane,
Oh, the
because he
carpool
was
lane.
alone, so he couldn't go in the carpool lane. So he took her to the Dodgers game, and that's
Yeah.
the scene. That's the scene that
Yeah.
that when they're at the Dodger game where they found this guy in the stands, not just in the stands, but
Wow.
walking back to his seat with his daughter. What a really great shot! That was a really great moment.
You said that was one of your favorite episodes. Stacy looked it up and it got a 9.1 rating.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think it's one of the more classic episodes of the whole series. There's
no
so
doubt.
much going on in that one that it's just wild, but one of those formative seasons, you know.
You know, I thought Juan's credibility was good. You know, when he told about getting involved in crime with his brother, going to jail and making a decision that would be his last time to be in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And then the judge listening to him talk. Well, first he gets arrested, and the detective says, you know, are you going to talk to us about this, about what's going on? And the way he said, what is going on? You know, you could tell he truly had no clue what it was that was going on. What else? I had one more thing. I can't think what it was.
What's one thing that I really enjoyed out of this one? There was quite a few. Yeah, I liked the Larry David. You know, I wish we could have played more of him, but I don't want to get the strike on my channel from HBO, so I can only just real small portions of Larry David. But there's more of it in the documentary, and it's, you know, like as I said, I think it adds to his mystique. You know, it adds to the show's like influence in its pop culture kind of strange way. Now Larry David's kind of everywhere. Everybody knows who he is. But at the time, the show was not the hit. I mean, it was a critically acclaimed, but I don't think it was a massive popularity that it had as it built over the years. But I've always been a fan of the show, so it's hard for me to tell.
It's been quite a number of years since it's been on, right? Curb Your Enthusiasm.
It just finished this year, and I think it was 23 or 24 years. But
oh my
they
gosh,
don't have,
I had no
have,
idea it went on that long.
They don't have 23 seasons because they didn't make one every year.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
What did that? Where did that stream or play? What?
HBO.
HBO.
Oh, it was HBO.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I haven't had that in a number of years. Aha.
So, pretty cool one. I enjoyed the, you know, how they figured it out. and the lawyer deserves a lot of the credit, if not all the credit, for going that extra step and being able to, it would have been really bad had he only had that VHS copy or whatever, and it was him, but it was too blurry. It's just so lucky that you had a camera crew there with a high definition camera. That's the oddity of it, right?
Yeah.
Because the lawyer found him on the closed circuit camera, but it's too fuzzy. Like, you can't
Right.
prove it's him. Like, what are the, like, could you imagine being a lawyer and the judge won't permit that? And you're like, I know it's him. I can basically prove it, but you're taking someone's faulty memory over this digital image of this guy. You're giving too much weight to an eyewitness account and very little or no weight to this video account. You know what I'm saying? Like, the video seems more accurate than someone's memory, and we know that can be the case a lot of the times. And as Jack said in the show, a memory is not video.
And
Right.
he had the tickets.
And he had the tickets.
He had his ticket stubs too. You
Well,
would think those two things together.
But it could have been someone that his brother or cousin or
Right.
that he gave the tickets to. I mean, that doesn't
you need
prove
it in the. It's like a portfolio
him.
of evidence, right? You want to have, like, okay, I got the video of me, 2 videos of me, basically. I got the ticket stub. You have my phone, so you know that if it pinged near Dodger Stadium. Like, what else can I say? My wife, or whoever, I was with my daughter. My daughter says I was there. You know what I mean? Oh, and then that's a kick in the stomach when the prosecutors are like, yeah, you could have been at the game and still committed the crime. Oh, that was the worst.
Yeah.
Or like he's going to do it on the way home with his daughter in the car.
Was it finally that it was the time between the drive from the stadium to home that basically convinced them, the judge or prosecutor or whatever, that it was him, that he couldn't have done it?
The murder took place at 10:32 p.m. Is that correct?
That sounds right. That sounds really accurate. Yeah.
And so they ended up placing him still at the stadium at like 10:12 or something.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It'd take an hour to get out of that parking lot, even. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah.
Come on. And I'm glad that they did get a different prosecutor in, or someone who took over the case that took it serious. And then this one, you don't always find that positive outcome. A lot of times in the wrongful, this one wasn't the conviction, but a wrongful prosecution. The attorneys just dig their heels in and they go, no, I think he's guilty. He had a sympathetic jury or something like that, right? But here they were like, okay, he didn't do it. Let's find out who did, and then they did.
Yeah,
doesn't always happen.
Like he said, yeah, it doesn't, and they end up letting perpetrators walk free so many times when that happens.
Unbelievable.
It seems like the detectives always get tunnel vision right away. And I think in some cases that I've followed, well, I don't think I know, they really don't care if they have the right person. They have a person and
something to focus on, and
and they knew that
around.
Yeah, they knew that this guy had gone to prison before, tangled up with crime with his brother. So he was no one to them. I mean, the first detective that thought, hey, it's got to be the brother because he was sitting in the courtroom at the trial, so it must be him. And then the other detective tells Juan to convince us otherwise. Like, convince us that it wasn't you. Like, he could do that. Even the prosecutor said, well, they asked, about why didn't he say he was at a Dodgers game? And like he said, I wasn't even thinking of the day. I was just thinking, oh my gosh, I'm being accused of murder. Your head would just be spinning.
Right? It was his wife that reminded him that he was at a Dodgers game.
That's right.
Because how many times, it would be so difficult to have something happen months down the road, and then you get hauled in for questioning, and they're asking you, where were you on this day? What were you doing?
Oh my God.
If I
would
hadn't been,
not have a clue.
oh, I know. I'm like that most of the time. If I hadn't been spraying the farm for days in a row, I would not be able to tell you guys what I did day before yesterday. It's like, I don't know. It all runs together.
Especially in detail, like what were you doing at this time? And
Unless something weird happens that makes it stick, it does all run together, or can, for mundane things.
Yeah, sometimes your text message log can remind you of things, or I do have a calendar too that sometimes is helpful, but not always. Let's see. I have one last thing that I thought was interesting. The judge says, and most judges and prosecutors think like this. She said that she had Martha Puebla at stake. Well, yeah, okay. I understand that, and that's valid, but you want the right person, because you're not just destroying Juan Catalan's life. You've taken him away from his 2 daughters. You've taken him away from a girlfriend, his family. It's a huge expense, like we have talked about before, when someone's incarcerated. So yeah, you have the victim at stake, but there can be victims in other ways, when you're wrongfully accused and convict. What they sent him to Supermax, so
wow.
I'm kind of confused. Was he like Richard Allen in the Delphi case, where they were housing him in prison pre-trial, or did I miss that?
They don't have I don't think they have Supermax in jails, as far as I know.
Well, they have solitary confinement, but he wouldn't qualify for that.
Right.
I wouldn't think so.
Interesting.
There's nothing special about a murderer being housed in. It's not like he's a cop or
well known, or
Daniel was housed in solitary in the county jail because he was
put the screws to him. They just want to make it tough on him. Probably
because he was a cop, I'm sure.
But because he was a police officer, and every time he had movement, they had to lock down the whole everything. It's just.
Oh no, in this case, they just wanted to stick it to Juan. They just wanted to, Juan to.
The heat on him.
Talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
Okay.
It's a call.
Sounds like an alarm going off. It could be the cops. If I hear knock, knock, knock. this is blah blah blah. We need to talk to you for a minute.
The way he was arrested, just God, was what he just got to work or something, and
Oh
he
yeah,
gets
drew
out
down
of
on
his
him.
car and just thrown on the ground.
Yep,
How
drew down on
scary
him.
is that
But
when
it
you're
is.
innocent? Jesus, you haven't done a damn thing, and
Right.
Well, at least his daughter didn't witness that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
that's
that's
true.
true
the
that,
only good part about it being there,
right?
for sure. Jack had a good comment in the premiere about um, the comment about that the prosecutor made about, she had an eyewitness who's really credible. Like, right.
What?
I mean, eyewitness convictions on eyewitness or wrongful convictions um, are most prevalent when an eyewitness misidentifies the person.
Happens
That
so many
is
times.
that
Either
is
that
the
or coerced confession. Yeah,
right. But I feel like um, eyewitnesses being incorrect is the number one thing, if I'm not mistaken, for wrongful convictions causes.
very possible.
But yeah, it was good to see a positive outcome, and Susan was right in the chat that Outcry was also a positive outcome with Greg Kelly.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah,
So,
but
but
that's
he
the
got
case that
he got
he
put
got.
through the dryer
Jesus.
there.
Oh, he
Oh
got
Through the
yeah,
put through the
he
ringer.
rock.
did.
Wow.
He got put through the rock grinder and crushed because it literally probably ruined any. I'm not saying he would have gotten into the NFL, but the chances were much higher that he would have.
I bet he would have. He was so driven and
Yeah,
so
such a great athlete.
fast.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was crazy.
yeah, pretty awesome athlete. And
But
me,
you take away a period, you you disrupt someone's training for a few years and they can never get it back.
well, an opportunity at that age, that's
Right.
pretty. It's pretty specific. The progression a kid makes through high school to college and then step into the NFL arena.
They just had their first baby a month ago.
Ah,
Uh, Greg and Gabri Kelly.
Gabby. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
What a
Yeah.
gal for sticking with him. What a
Yeah.
wonderful young lady.
Anyway, I didn't mean to derail us off of this onto Outcry,
Oh
but
no, not at all. Not at all. Let it flow. Whatever you um it's just a short documentary. There's not a ton to add to it, right?
Well,
But
I wish
it's kind of fun.
I wish the documentarians had taken that next step. Um, it may be done, you know, make this one longer or have a second, second part to it to fill in a little bit of that because there's clearly so much left out, that we don't see. I mean, they hit the high points and they did it really well. They really did. Great job. And then let's get into or for them to have gotten into the civil suit because as I said, in the premiere, what was it that, what's the basis of the civil suit? And I don't remember. I think I poked around a little bit, but I got sidetracked. I was trying to actually find it, and I didn't. But I did. I sent you a link, Jeff, to an article in the L.A. Times.
You'll have to see if I can pull that up.
You're surprised, Jack, that he sued civilly?
No. I'm not surprised he did it. I want to know what the lawyers claimed in it. Um, basically, that's it. I want to know what they claimed and what they were able to bring to the table to get the city of LA to, cough up $320,000.
hey, were those depositions at the end? Or
Yeah.
was that
Yeah.
testimony
No,
in
Yeah.
the civil
deposition.
trial?
That's right.
You don't often see detectives admit wrongdoing.
Maybe when you got their ass nailed against the wall, they admit it. Who knows?
I don't know. That's not what I've seen.
That's what I'm
They
saying, though.
usually double
If it,
down.
I mean, if whoever, maybe it was the lawyer that defended him. I don't know. I really haven't looked at the name of who his lawyer was in the civil trial, the civil suit. But if it was a guy like that one or that guy, I can imagine this guy did his homework and may have had incriminating evidence that said, "Look, this is what you people did." Blah blah blah.
Oh, they
That
did
was my
find the actual killers.
Yeah,
So
4 of
it may
them.
well,
have
yeah.
been, they may have
The feds,
ignored other, evidence that didn't fit this guy. I don't
yeah,
know.
the feds brought charges. Yeah,
But, trying to convict somebody on just one eyewitness,
yeah.
I mean,
Death
that's
penalty.
death penalty. Oh, Jesus.
Well, she was
Yeah.
known for that. I mean, that prosecutor, and
Oh,
that's what she did.
never lost a case, right?
Nope, never lost a case.
God, how many wrongful convictions is she responsible for? I wonder.
You were right, Jeff. It says he spent nearly 6 months. Well, it says in prison. Juan
It was
Catalan
Jay.
spent.
Maybe because he had a murder charge, they're like, yeah, lock you up with the other murderers. The jails
That's
are.
unconstitutional. I mean,
I don't know. To look into that one.
That's
It
weird.
should be anyway. I mean,
Constitution,
somehow
constitution, I guess. Huh?
they got away with it with Richard Allen. I don't see how that's not unconstitutional. But him and Ed said in prison, and he hasn't even been tried.
Oh, well, I'm reading in this article here, Jeff. The truth is, this is a quote. The truth is, the six-pack, a pack of mugshot photos purportedly bearing Pablo's signature, which police presented to Ledesma, I guess this is this eyewitness, while they were interrogating him over the killing of Christian Vargas, was fake. Law enforcement officers had falsified Pablo's identification. Juan Rodriguez, the partner of LAPD homicide detective Martin Penner, had circled Ledesma's photo and forged her statement and signature. Oh, and it says this is legal but controversial. What? How's that legal?
How is that
Legal.
legal? Because,
Ah,
oh my God.
oh my God, that's right.
I like
Interesting.
this being short, but I have so many questions about things. Like he wasn't convicted or he got convicted, and then I guess he wouldn't have been you couldn't do that in 6 months.
Yeah, I think the charges were just dropped before any trial, right?
Yeah.
Good. Mistakes cost money. That's another thing that, people who are maybe kind of have the blinders on when it comes to law enforcement. And there are people who think they can do no wrong, but they make mistakes and it costs the city and the taxpayer money, costs the state money, costs a lot of money when you wrongfully lock someone up and then they win their court case, right? So we got to get it right. It's important to get the outcomes right, not just for the moral reasoning, but for financial as well. It costs a hell of a lot of money when people make mistakes. You got to be better. You got to do better. Got to demand better. Okay, I'm done preaching. Well, does anybody have anything else to add to this one? Best part or anything else? I think we covered it pretty well. We got the story kind of the kinks worked out. It sounds like they've moved on with their lives And anybody have anything to add to this one?
I do not.
Not really. Mm-mm.
Nope.
All right. Well, then I will introduce our next week's episode. And next week, we are going to be talking about Lover, Stalker, Killer, which is also streaming on Netflix right now. So easy for you guys to see. If you haven't seen Lover, Stalker, Killer, you're in for a twists and turns that you may have never seen before in a documentary. This one has it all. Changed the plot. You think you might have it figured out, and as soon as when you think you have it figured out, you're wrong again. This is a really well constructed documentary from a crazy ass story. So I don't want to give too much away. Obviously, there's a stalker involved. There is a killer involved, and Lover. Well, I'll let you decide on that one.
Several lovers in quotation marks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. I have seen it.
Oh, have you seen it? Okay, so very cool.
Mhm.
So people who haven't seen it, go and check that one out for next week. Any way you guys can tease it if you've seen it before, tease it to the friends out there. Looks like we got Cherie in the chat.
Hey,
Yeah,
Cherie.
What would you say about this documentary to a prospective viewer?
A little bit of Glenn Close and the Boiling Rabbit. What was that one?
Sure.
It's, Fatal Attraction.
Oh,
That's right.
Yeah.
Fatal Attraction.
Oh
Absolutely.
my God. I can't believe I could pull that out of my brain.
Fatal
Yeah, good job. That's
You
a
did.
goldie.
That's right. This one is was so. It's actually worse in a lot of ways than Fatal Attraction
Oh yeah.
because of the
I said a little bit.
some of the and the way the story really flips 180 when certain things are found out, and it's really a detailed. You got to really pay attention to the names, and we'll get more into that, in premiere, and keeping the names straight of who all is really involved here.
Yeah.
Hey, can I flip back to this week's documentary for a second?
Absolutely.
I'm reading an LA Times article, and it says that Puebla's parents filed a lawsuit against the city. A federal jury did find that the two detectives were negligent over the photo ruse. However, jurors found that Puebla and her parents were 80% responsible for her death.
What?
The family was awarded
Wow.
$1. I wonder what the story behind that is.
There is a story behind this one.
It was
Wow.
awarded what?
$1.
Oh,
The family
Just to
was
show that
awarded
you won.
$1.
Yeah.
Huh.
They just want to prove that they won their case, that they were in the right. They weren't trying to get money.
right. Wow.
Wow. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's a lot easier for the jury to convict on stuff like that if it's like they're only seeking $1 in damages. They just want to prove it for the books. Wow. Really cool documentary. I'm glad that we had a little bit of Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm references. It's pretty good.
That makes me want to go watch some Curb Your Enthusiasm now.
I think you should. You should start with the carpool lane and then the doll. You have to see the doll or the doll head.
That was a good one.
Sticks out at me.
Great
The
series.
Palestinian chicken, that one pops out at me. There's just so many that are that are just in the lexicon now. But yeah, thank you guys for joining, and thanks everybody out there for joining today. We'll see you guys next week, hopefully, and we'll be back with more documentaries. We're talking about Lover, Stalker, Killer next week. So if you haven't seen that one, make sure to check that out. I want to say thank you to Katie and Jack and Susan for joining, and thank you guys out there for listening after the premiere as well. You can like and subscribe to help and support the channel. This has been Documentary Club. I'm Jeff Jones, and we'll see you guys on the next one.